Hare Krishna. So, welcome you all again to the next session of the art of chanting that we've been discussing. This is the fourth session, and Yojana part 3 we are going to discuss today. We have already discussed the two parts of the Yojana, the art of alignment, in which includes the body, mind, and the heart. So, today we are going to discuss with the heart. As we have already discussed the three temple gates, the first gate is the body, the mind, and the heart. The third is the heart. In the first part of Yojan, I have discussed that the third gate, which is the heart gate, it has a latch from inside. So we really need to knock onto the door. We cannot open it from outside. Chest Rupa Bhakti and Bhav Rupa Bhakti. So Chest Rupa Bhakti is being limited only to the first two gates, the body and the mind. And the Bhav Rupa Bhakti exists at the third gate. When Krishna bestows his causeless mercy, until and unless Krishna opens the gate from inside, we will not be able to enter into the third gate. So we really need to beg for it. There's no any meditational technique or any chanting technique which is going to work over here. We can only do our Cheshtrupa Bhakti. We can only show our efforts to Krishna. And Krishna is sitting within our hearts. Like there are CCTV surveillance wherever we go to a mall or to a marketplace or to a grocery store, there's been written that you are under CCTV surveillance. Similarly, Krishna is sitting inside our heart. We are always and always under CCTV surveillance of Krishna. So he is sitting in our heart in a hidden place. As he sees that, yes, this devotee is really putting an effort to enter into the third gate, he opens up the third gate. He opens the latch from inside. Then we can enter into the third gate, the heart. And when it is open, the results are really extraordinary. So we really need to push ourselves. We really need to give our best of the efforts so that we can invoke Krishna, we can attract Krishna, and Krishna bestows his mercy upon us and opens up the gate. So body, mind, and heart. Talking about the heart comprises of three types. There are three types of hearts. One is material, second is emotional, and third is spiritual. Material heart is composed of only the material aspects and material things that we acquire in our life. So it is totally and totally material. There's no component of spiritual, no spiritual component in this material heart. We are always been attracted to the various whims and fancies of razzle and dazzle of this material world. So this material heart is composed of those things. Second is the emotional heart. It composes of all the emotions. Like we show, sometimes we see some a poor beggar or some child on the road, then we show some emotions with our heart, that how poor that person is, how diseased that person is, how weak that person is, and we try to help that person. That is the emotional component of the heart is working onto that part. So that is the emotional heart. And third is spiritual, which has nothing to do with the material and the emotional heart. Spiritual heart is the basic component of the heart. In scriptures, it is called as the Antahakarana, or in the Upanishads, it has been described as the Tahar Akash, which means it is the sacred space where the soul and the super soul reside. So, this heart, the spiritual heart, is the basic component of the heart, which is going to help us in our spiritual progress. This is the meeting place of the soul and the super soul. We have to work upon on this part of the heart, not on the material and the emotional hearts. We have to work on the spiritual heart. So for the spiritual heart to be activated, what we need to do, we need to offer some prayers. Like I said, we really need to knock onto the door and impress Krishna. How can we impress Krishna? We have to offer some prayers from our heart. We have to go to Krishna with a prayerful mood, like a beggar. Like if there is a child, a newborn child or an infant, he has some problem. He uh, he's hungry or he's thirsty or he wants something, he cannot move even to his right and left also. Only one thing he can do is cry. So that's what Prabhupada also said. A devotee should become perfect in chanting by learning from a child, by crying like a child. The cry of the child is going to attract the mother. As soon as the mother listens to the cry of the child, she comes running. Similarly, it will cry like that child helplessly. That as the child is helpless, he cannot do anything. He even can't even remove a mosquito from his body. Similarly, we should also think that we are totally helpless. If we offer that helpless cry to Krishna, that's spiritual, from our spiritual hearts, then Krishna will also come running. He will get attracted towards that devotee. That who is that devotee who is putting such an effort? Is calling me from such a deep-hearted cry. So we really need to do this. Then only that gate of heart is going to be opened from inside. A devotee uh, should try to offer the best of his efforts. But as Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, ye yathamam prabhadyante, as and when Krishna reciprocates to the cry of the devotee, if the cry is really genuine, like there are two things, need for Krishna and desire for Krishna. What is the difference between need for Krishna and desire for Krishna is the pure devotees who are already got perfected in devotional service, they desire for Krishna. Krishna, I want you. I want you. Uh, I want to love you. So desire is different from the need. As a practitioner, though we are not perfected in devotional service, we should cry for need for Krishna. That you should help us. That need for Krishna, that genuine cry, is going to attract Krishna for a practitioner. So all these things starts from where, like spiritual heart is the perfection. When you have the perfection of the devotional service is to get love of Krishna, to get the love of Godhead and go back to Godhead. How can we achieve it? It starts from Shraddha. What does that Shraddha word means? It is composed of two parts, Shra plus Dha. Shra means the heart and Dha means to give. Until and unless we give Shraddha, we give our heart to Krishna, we cannot step to the next step of the devotional service. There are 9 processes of devotional service: Shraddha, Bhajan Kriya, Sadhu Sang, Anarth Nivriti. Like this, there are 9 steps of devotional service to all the way to Prema, Nishtha, Ruchi, Asakti, Bhava, Prema. Like there are 9 steps. So if we really want to step onto this ladder, we first need to do what? Shraddha. We need to offer our heart to Krishna. So how can we offer our heart to Krishna? There are 3 processes that has been described in scriptures that really can attract Krishna, by which we can offer our heart to Krishna, by which we can have a firm Shraddha, firm faith in Krishna. There are 3 processes. One process is, first is knowledge, to get knowledge from the scriptures, to get your intelligence be awakened. When we read scriptures, when we read the stories of the devotees, how devotees have cried for Krishna helplessly, and how Krishna has helped them in their difficult times, and this knowledge is going to increase our Shraddha. The second, it has been described, the devotees association. Those people who already have Shraddha, who have already given their hearts to Krishna, we should associate with those devotees. If we associate with those devotees, the Shraddha begets to Shraddha. So from Shraddha, we get Shraddha. By seeing those devotees, that how they have performed in their devotional services, how they are progressing their spiritual lives, we get an inspiration, we get a motivation from them, and then there's an increase in our Shraddha. And third is the practice. We have taken the knowledge, we are associating with the people who already have the Shraddha. And third is practice. We have to practice it until and unless, like, you come to know that some honey is sweet. You got the knowledge, yes, you have heard from somewhere that honey is sweet. You associated with people who have already tasted honey. You asked them, yes, they said it is very much sweet. Until and unless you open up the bottle of the honey and put your finger inside it and put your on tongue, you will not come to know that it is really sweet. So just licking the bottle of the honey from outside, the proper use also used to give this example very frequently, is not going to help. So we really need to practice this also. So neglecting the material and emotional hearts and coming to the spiritual heart. But what is stopping us to reach to the spiritual heart? These are the anarthas. Anartha means anartha. An arth means which have some value, and anartha means which does not have any value. So there are four types of anarthas that has been described in Harinam Chintamani by Bhaktivinoda Thakur, in which he is describing there are four types of anarthas. We are not going to the very details and nitty-gritties of those anarthas, but only anartha which is being linked to our topic today, the heart, we will discuss that. The first anartha is the defect of the heart, which is called as hriday daurbalyam, the weakness of the heart. Second is attachment to the objects which have no relationship to Krishna. Third is propensity to cheat and find faults. And fourth is the envy. Envy means, as Amrendra Prabhu also describes in one of his lectures, that envy is capital N and capital V. No vacancy. Until unless we have envy in our hearts, there is no vacancy in the spiritual world for us. So to make a thin bridge, like material world to the spiritual world, there's a thin bridge of Shraddha, which is connecting both the worlds. We really need to have a firm bridge, firm faith, firm Shraddha. Only then we can cross over from the material to the spiritual world. And until and unless we uproot these weeds, which are like anarthas, in the Hriday Daurbalyam, the weakness of the heart, we are not going to reach to the spiritual heart. We're not going to uh, experience that genuine cry which will attract Krishna one day. So it is a constant practice, day to day practice, that we should practice it slowly and steadily and patiently. We should wait for Krishna's mercy to flow and let the miracles happen slowly. So we should always try to become a receiver. We should not try to become an achiever. If we think that by some yoga techniques or meditational techniques, by breathing techniques, we can impress Krishna, we can invoke Krishna into our hearts, it is a totally a fallacy. It is totally a misconception. It is a kind of pramada. Pramada means the madness. One side we are attracting Krishna, we are invoking Krishna by chanting his names, and other side we are ignoring him. So it is called pramada. It is madness. So we should invite Krishna into our hearts. But what happens? The heart is not clean. Like if you invite some guest into your house and your house is not clean, the guest is not going to come. So we first need to clean our hearts. A heart should be cleaned of all these anarthas. Cheto Darpan Marjanam. By constant chanting, this chanting has the power. The power of the holy name is so strong that it will do the cleaning of the hearts on its own. Like in one of the lectures, Nitai Sevani Mataji describes that Krishna is so eager to enter the heart of the devotee that he himself enter into the heart and starts cleaning the heart with all the broom and other cleaning materials. So once Krishna will enter your heart, and Krishna is a Tribhanga Lalitam, he is a three times banded form. So once he will enter your heart, he will not be able to escape. So we should practice simultaneously invoking Krishna, simultaneously try to clean our hearts by avoiding these kinds of anarthas, and simultaneously crying for Krishna and waiting patiently for his causeless mercy to flow and bestow his mercy in the form of love of God. So we should pray, as I was saying, that we should, for the creeper of the devotional service to grow, we should nurture the soil. The soil is the heart where this seed is going to grow. We should nurture the soil very nicely with prayers. How these prayers are going to work, even we do not know. We do not have any idea. We cannot invoke Krishna with our power of knowledge, with our power of money or power of our position or education. We can only and only believe on the power of the holy name. We are totally helpless on the causeless mercy of Krishna. So the prayers can make wonders in this. You can choose any prayer from Srimad Bhagavatam or whichever scripture you like. So we should pray to Krishna to bestow his causeless mercy upon to us. So this is a beautiful prayer that Maharaj describes in his book, The Living Name. This is from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 6, Chapter 11, verse 26, where Vritrasur, who who was a devotee in his previous birth but became a demon due to some sins he acquired, but he still remembers Krishna and he is invoking Krishna. Then he is giving three levels of prayers to Krishna, the request to Krishna for invoking him to his heart. The first, so first we read this prayer, very beautiful prayer. अजातपक्षायव मात्रमखगा स्तन्यं यथा वत्सराशुद्ध अर्था प्रियं प्रियेवा विषितं विषन्ना मनोरविन्दाक्षदिदृक्ष्यते त्वाम् अजातपक्षायव मात्रमखगा स्तन्यं यथा वत्सतरा शुद्ध अर्था प्रियं प्रियेवा विषितं विषन्ना मनोरविन्दाक्षदिदृक्ष्यते त्वाम्. So he is giving the three levels of surrender, the three levels of prayer that we should offer to Krishna. What should be our mood of attracting Krishna? First, he is giving Ajata Paksha Eva Matra Makhaga. What does it mean? It means His Holiness Radha Govind Maharaj describes very beautifully in his lectures this verse, Ajata Paksha, the newly born birds. They are very small birds and they cannot even move. They can only eat with their beaks. So what they are doing, Ajat Paksha Eva Matra Makhaga. Those birds who are sitting in their nest and their mother bird or the father bird has gone out to bring some food for them. So they are just waiting. Evening has come, that there's already dusk has arisen, and they are waiting for the mother bird to bring some food for them. They are helplessly sitting, they are motionless. So this is the first level of surrender. But the Vritrasur in his prayer, he is not happy with his first level of prayer. Then he offers another level of prayer in which he is saying, Stanyam yathavastarashodha artha. What does it mean? Stanyam yatha. The calves. Vastara means the calf. So those calves are waiting, like in various gaushalas. If you go, the various calves are being separately tied up, and the mothers are being separately tied up to milk the cows. So, but there is one time in the evening or the morning when they open up the calf so that he goes and have some milk from his mother. So a devotee should be eager always to offer prayers and offer service to Krishna, as that calf is eager. How, when, and I'll be untied so that I just run and rush towards my mother and drink my mother's milk and can quench my thirst and hunger. So a devotee's eagerness should be like this. But still, Vitrasur is not happy. The first was the birds who were sitting motionless and waiting for their mothers. And devotee can be like this also, waiting for the causeless mercy of Krishna. But in the second example, what is he doing? The devotee is trying to do something, do some service, is very eager to do it. Like that calf is very eager to run and rush towards his mother. He's not sitting idly like those Ajata Paksha. So in the third he's still not happy with these two examples. The third vivid example he's giving over here is Priyam Priyeva Vishitam Vishanna, which means a lady or a wife whose husband has gone out for some work, and she is sitting on the window of the door and waiting very eagerly for the husband to come back to the home so that she can offer various services to her husband. She is decorating herself, she is cleaning the house, she is preparing some food items so that as and when her husband comes over, she serves her husband in a very nice way. So then he becomes satisfied. The Vritrasur becomes satisfied by offering the third level of his prayers, the lady who is anxiously waiting for husband to come back home so that in various ways she can serve her husband. So the devotees eagerness, devotees cry for Krishna from their heart should be like the third level for like a wife who has been anxiously waiting for her husband so that she can serve in various ways. Devotee should is not lazy. Devotee is never thinking that Krishna gives me mercy, but I will not be able to do any service. Service cannot be without love, and love cannot be without service. These are reciprocal words. So, uh, a devotee should be always very eager to perform services, to offer love, and to receive love. Mano Arvindaksh Didikshetvam. So, Arvindakshi means the lotus-eyed Lord. My attraction towards you should be like this. These three examples that Maharaj is giving in his book. So there are four levels of doing any work. One, any work we do in our life, either we are doing out of fear, or we doing out of some reward, or doing out of a duty. And fourth level is love. Anything we are doing in our office, either we are doing the work out of the fear of our boss, out of reward that we'll get something in return of it, we'll get some bonus or something, and third, we are just doing it as our duty. uh, uh, so then the fourth is out of love. So the best process by which we can offer something from our hearts to Krishna is not from fear, not from in the form of any reward, not in the form of any duty, but in the form of love. This is the highest level of doing any work. But most of us are present at that time. We are present on the stage of duty. We are chanting our 16 rounds in the form of duty. Might be in the initially we would be doing out of fear also, but as if now maximum percentage of the devotees they stand out at the stage of duty, that yes, I have been initiated, or who have not been initiated, they are just doing their duty of chanting those 16 rounds by lip chanting. So from the distance from the lip chanting to heart chanting is until and unless we come to a level of love. So, in the end, I would just like to read two lines in the form of prayer. If we find very difficult to recite this Srimad Bhagavatam prayers or something, these two lines that Maharaj describes in book, that we, in a very short, concise way, how can we pray? Please, Krishna, I do not know how to chant. Even after our alignment of our body, mind, and heart, nothing has been happening, and no need to get morosed. We just offer this prayer to Krishna, that I do not know how to chant. I cannot concentrate my rascal mind, who has refused to follow me. Please help me, otherwise there is no chance at all for such a bad chanter like me. So we should always be in a receiver's mood, never to be in an achiever's mood. That by doing all these processes, by all using all these techniques, I can be a good chanter. We should always be receiver of Krishna's mercy to flow. We should like always be a beggar, that Krishna, I belong to you. You, if you want to show your mercy to me, it is well and good. If you do not want to show your mercy to me, I still be standing on the third gate by doing all my conscious efforts. I'll be standing on the third door. I'll be keep knocking that door with offerings from my heart, with uh, a childlike cry, with a like a beggar. I would be sitting over there. So please help me, Krishna. I belong to you. So with this, we have completed the Yojan part, the alignment of the body, mind, and heart. And next, we are going to enter into the Sambandha. Out of the 5 chapters that I said in the first introduction session, the first part is over today. The Yojan part, the part of alignment of the body, mind, and heart. The 3 gates we cross, then what we need to do, we will learn further in the coming sessions. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna. Just try practicing Hare Krishna Mahamantra very diligently with all your conscious efforts. Uh, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Keep practicing and happy chanting. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna.